Why did I wait until 1:30 a.m. to video this? Oh well, that's what we're dealing with. What's up, you guys? It's your boy Brayden, aka Kimberly Cage, your very own Goth Sex Barbie. In today's video, I will be doing a drag makeup look on the Game of Thrones Urban Decay makeup. In my last video, if you haven't watched the last video, go watch it. In my last video, I was talking about how I have been binge watching Game of Thrones. I literally have been going through all the seasons. I finally finished all, I think there's 8 seasons. I finished all of it. I've already seen it, but I mean, I'm in quarantine, so like, there's nothing better to do. So I decided to rewatch it. Urban Decay came out with a makeup collab with Game of Thrones, and I was like, oh my god, this is right up my alley. I totally forgot about it. It came out a little while ago. So originally the palette was $65, and I was like, I used to work at a popular retail makeup store. Thou shalt not speak its evil name. It is not Sephora, so there you go. I worked through a MAC in said company. I absolutely love working for MAC. It was so much fun, but under the corporation umbrella of this certain retail company, it was awful. When I was working at this retail store, I remember seeing it and I was like, $62, that's a little too much for this palette. I remember like swatching it and I was like, oh, this is really cute, but $65, that's a stretch, okay? Mama has to be like Jeffree Star for me to be spending $65 on that shadow, let's be for real. So I scavenged the internet during my quarantine hours at night, and I found it for $26 on Nordstrom, which I don't even know what that was. I think it's like a TJ Maxx type situation. Let me know if I'm wrong, because I really don't know. So I found it for $26 and I was like, perfect, this is gonna be great. We're gonna do a makeup look on it, but we're gonna go through the memories of Game of Thrones. If you're not a Game of Thrones fan, well, get the fuck out. We'll just ignore this crappy, crazy hair of mine right now, but it's been like a hot minute since you guys have seen me in boy form, so I thought I would pop on here, say hi, hopefully everybody's doing okay, and let's get into some makeup. Who's ready? Let's get into it, you guys. Next time you see me, I'm gonna be looking more crazy. All right, you guys, I went ahead and did my base off camera, like always. So we are going to dust this away and we're gonna get into the eyeshadow. Okay, you guys, I dusted off my bake, and now that we look like Varys with a bad spray tan, we're gonna get into the eyeshadow. Boy, if you don't like Game of Thrones, this one's gonna be a fun one for you guys. But first, before we get into the makeup, we got a couple of things to talk about. So, I did buy this palette online. I do want to advise everyone to be cautious, be careful, and be sanitary when ordering things online. You know, shipping, mailing, UPS, FedEx, all that has been compromised with Corona, so just make sure you're taking the proper measures to safely sanitize and make sure you're not getting sick. You don't know who's touched it, you don't know where it came from, where it's going. You definitely need to make sure that when you do get a package, you are taking the proper precautions to sanitize it, get rid of all of the evidence, like as in boxes, anything that anybody could have touched. One thing I like to do is just take a disinfecting wipe and kind of go over the package with that first before I get into it. That way you are being cautious and careful of any germs that may have traveled with the shipping. So definitely be mindful of that. I decided to risk my life and, you know, get this Game of Thrones palette. Just proceed with caution. That's my little mama advice to you. So this is the eyeshadow palette, the Urban Decay eyeshadow palette. It's absolutely cute. I love the packaging right off the bat. Like, it looks like this cute little book type situation. You open it up and you have this little mirror. You have a little saying that it says on it. And this guy pops up. And look at that. You get the thrones right there. You see that little pop-up of the thrones. Absolutely love that. And then the eyeshadows come in down at the bottom. You just slide this little baby out. I'm glad that this actually comes out. They're just separated into different types of color schemes for the different houses that there are in the Game of Thrones. I definitely recommend watching Game of Thrones, especially since we have nothing but time right now. It's such a good show. When I would tell people that I watched it, they would look at me like I was crazy. Like, I definitely don't seem or look like the type that would be so obsessed with Game of Thrones, but I was like hooked. Yeah, I've watched this season, all the series, maybe 4 times. Like, I've literally watched every, like, just marathoned it about 4 times. So sad that it had to end, but you know, all good shows come to an end, unfortunately. With that being said, let's get into the makeup. I'm so excited to play with this one. The one thing I will say right off the bat is there are not a lot of matte shades in here. I think there's only 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's only 3 matte shades. All the rest are shimmers. Then that's gonna be a problem. And I know something about makeup, Jon Snow. I feel like it might be a little hard to navigate this palette, but we're gonna work with it. We're gonna do a cute little eye look. All these shimmers are not gonna stop us. So first I'm gonna take House Lannister right here, this really peachy tone right there, and I'm gonna put that all over the lid. And you guys, I've never used Urban Decay eyeshadows. I love their primer potions, I love their sprays, I love their eyeliner. I use their eyeliner all the time, but I've never used an eyeshadow palette, so I'm really excited to see how this is gonna turn out. House Lannister is showing up. Like, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it's definitely like a really pretty peachy tone color. You just wanna take that right into your nose crease right here. Like I said before, I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan. One of my favorite characters that I think, like throughout the whole series was Sansa. She was definitely one of my top favorites. Like, her character arc was like none other than I've seen before. Like, she just started out like just very like, you know, sweet and innocent, and she just rose up to be like this freaking badass queen. I absolutely love her. Like, Sansa was definitely my favorite. You know, there was a lot of controversies about the final season. A lot of people thought that, you know, it was not well constructed. Like, my opinion on it is all shows are gonna end at some point. It definitely is really sad that we're not gonna get to see the show anymore, but I definitely feel like they ended it really, really strongly. If you're not caught up on Game of Thrones, then girl, that is your fault. Why did you click this video? You're gonna get spoilers. That's how it's gonna be, sorry. This is your warning. Okay, for the next shade, I'm gonna go into Nymeria here, which is actually Arya's wolf. That's the name of her wolf. So Nymeria, I'm gonna dip into that and kind of deepen up the crease. I want you all to tell me in the comments below who you thought was going to end up on the Iron Throne in the end. There are so many opinions out there on who should have been on the Iron Throne in the end. Like I mentioned before, I did work at a popular retail beauty store, thou shall not be spoken of. We did sell Urban Decay. I loved all of their products. I just had never gotten around to using their eyeshadows. I felt like their eyeshadows were a little lackluster for me because when I look for an eyeshadow, because I do like drag makeup, I want like big crazy colors. I feel like I didn't find that within Urban Decay's palettes. Urban Decay was so nice. Like, they would send products to us all the time, like for us to try. Okay, I'm definitely a fan of how that's looking so far. For the next shade, I'm gonna dip into Lannister Red right here, this really pretty red color. I'm just gonna deepen it up a little bit more with that color. Okay, you guys, now that Lannister Red is applied to the outer corners of the eye, I am gonna cut my crease off camera real quick and I'll be right back with you guys. Okay, you guys, I went ahead and cut my crease real quick off camera, and we are gonna dive right back into the makeup. So for the next eyeshadow color, we're going to dive into Red Keep, this really pretty coppery, metallic shade right here. We're gonna dive into that and put that all over the lid. Like always, we're using our Fix Plus. That is a pretty color, yes. Next, I'm gonna take Castle Rock right here, and I'm gonna kind of blend it right into that copper color towards the edge. And after you blended that color, I'm going to blend and Winter is here. And then lastly, for the outer corner, we're going to dip into Take the Black, this really pretty black shimmer color. We're just gonna put that on the edge here. I know my sister's probably at home like, why the fuck are you using black? She hates when I use black for whatever reason. I love it. Okay, black is my favorite color. Matches my soul. Lastly, you guys, for the inner corner, I'm gonna dive into King's Landing, this really pretty gold shimmer, and I'm gonna put that right in the inner corner here. That is so pretty, look at that. Oh my God, that looks so nice. That looks so good, I love that inner corner. Oh. Okay, you guys, we are done with the eyes for the eyeshadow part. I'm gonna throw on some liner and some lashes, and I'll be back with you guys. Now that I have my liner done, I am gonna do my bottom under eye. I'm gonna go back in with House Lannister here. We're just gonna put that all over the bottom here. While I'm blending this out, do you guys wanna hear a Game of Thrones joke? You'll only get it if you watch Game of Thrones. What stopped winter from coming? I'll pause for a moment so you can guess. Winter fell and I couldn't get up. What, you guys don't have a sense of humor? Oh my god. I'm done. Cut the tapes, I'm done. I'm gonna go in with Lannister Red and we're just gonna keep that right in here. Let me throw on some lashes, you guys, because I forgot to throw on my lashes earlier. I'm gonna put on Lethal lashes. They're my favorite lashes. We're coming out with a bunch of new ones, which I'm so excited for. I'm so sad that these are not gonna be a part of their collection anymore, but I'm glad I got them before they were gone. Okay, you guys, and we are finally finished with the eyes. Got my lashes on. I'm gonna go ahead and put some highlight and my lips on off camera, and I'll be back with you guys to give you my final thoughts on the Urban Decay Game of Thrones palette. See you in a minute. All right, you guys, the mother of dragons has arrived. Are you guys ready to get into my final thoughts on the Game of Thrones Urban Decay palette? All right, you guys, I absolutely loved this palette. The packaging was so amazing on it. They did such a great job with that. The color schemes were absolutely stunning. Like, I loved how they looked on my eyes. The one thing that I do wish that was a little bit different in the palette was that there's not enough matte shades in here. That's like my biggest thing, like, cause I feel like whenever I'm doing an eye look, I really need, you know, some really good matte shades. They only had 3 in here. We still made it work even with the small amount of matte shades that we had. The shimmer shades were absolutely amazing. The one in the inner corner is my absolute favorite. Which one was that? King's Landing, this one here. That one was my absolute favorite. Like right in the inner corner there was absolutely amazing. Overall, I felt like the palette did exactly what I needed it to. It is definitely a palette that I will be saving. It's one of those palettes where I wanted to have it in my collection just because I love Urban Decay. And I also love Game of Thrones. The two worlds collided perfectly to match what I needed in my life. I want to maybe do another video where I get into like these blue shades up here because that would be so much fun. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want to see me do another version of this eyeshadow palette because I would love to. Lastly, I do want to say that for $56, I think that's a little steep for this eyeshadow palette. I do recommend buying it if it's on sale or if you find it on a different website like I did. I feel like $56 is a little bit expensive for how little of the matte shades you get in there. Just the variety of color, I feel like it was lacking. If you're gonna get this palette, I would get it on sale. I do want to say that I will be doing more videos. I know that buying things online and receiving them in the mail, like I said earlier in the video, is a little bit risky at this time. So I definitely would caution against that. Just once again, I would caution against that. Another thing is I have so many eyeshadow palettes. Like I'm gonna start doing some videos where I go through my eyeshadows and like do some looks with some old palettes because I feel like in today's society, especially with eyeshadow palettes, is like people just want more and new. We just barely even get to use the palettes that we do have. And people just forget about all the eyeshadow palettes that they already have. So I'm definitely gonna take this time, especially in quarantine, to go back through some of my old palettes and maybe do some videos on those. So let me know in the comments below if you guys want to see some old palettes in because I would love to play around with some of those and, you know, go back in time. If I could turn back time, I'll just go back in time and I could, you know, play around with some of these palettes that I absolutely loved and played with before. So, I mean, we're in quarantine, so I have plenty of time in my life to go through these and do some more videos on them. I'm gonna definitely do that. That does it for another video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching and keeping me company because let's be for real, I am going a little bit insane. I've started talking to the ceiling fan. If you are new here, please subscribe to me. I would love to have you a part of my family. And with that being said, you guys, it's been another video. I love you guys. Hopefully you guys take care. Be safe, be sane. Love you guys. Bye.